y'all were enemies, right?
I wouldn't say we're enemies.
I know, but like y'all were on the other side.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say we was enemies, but I know one thing, I got to watch them.
And vice versa, right? If you guys can come together, though, I mean, it's like, who couldn't come together? Like, you know what I mean?
All of this is part of growth, you know, and you got to recognize it.
To me, I just said to somebody upstairs, I'm not gonna bullshit you guys. This is one of the happiest days I've had in like 10 years. I'm not like seeing you two in the same room.
That's funny.
On the same couch. I can't tell you how much it means to me, man. It's
God have a way of doing his way, the right way all the time.
That's right. And I believe that this is the right way. You know, the two of you are two of the wisest and strongest and most level-headed men that I have in my life. I've learned from both of you guys. I look at both of you guys as real gifts in my life and profits from my life. Like I look at the way you guys have lived your life, the way you've conducted your life, the way you are, the way you're regarded by the people around you, and you have no idea like the amount of gratitude, and I hold you guys sacred. So it's incredible for me to just have you guys together, and it's just something I've wanted to see for a real long time.
Well, I mean, I think it's awesome you're telling the story too. You know, I think it's a story when I met you years ago, it was a story that needed to be told. Yeah, and I really think it does. And I mean, everything happens for a reason. You know, like we talked about before, I don't make it personal. I never make it personal. You know, it's a business. Right. You know, and I can sit down with Goat, I can sit down with Hell, hug Bam Bam, you know. I mean, back in the day, you never would have thought that. Yeah. But, you know, we all get old and we chill out. You know, we were talking about the funniest time, you know, when one of the guys was buying dope went to go buy dope from Goat, and he thought he knew him because his identical twin brother had stopped Goat on the interstate. He was a DPS trooper, and he said, "I know you, motherfucker. You're the guy stopped me on the interstate." He goes, "That wasn't me." And I was like, he was telling the truth, but they're identical twin. And it was funny, and that was stuck in my head more than anything that I remember. That was the funniest thing in the world, you know, for the guy to be sitting there, "That ain't me." And I was like, and he was telling the truth. But they were identical twins. I said, "Man, you tell your brother quit fucking with people. You can't do this business." You know? And y'all are identical twins. But man, like I said, I appreciate, you know, being able to tell the story. And if it helps somebody, I think that's the greatest thing in the world.
And trying to do something different in our city needs something positive going on, you know? And I know a lot of negative stuff went on back in the days, but sometimes, you know, negativity brings positive, you know? People just got to look at it that way, you know? And some people could look at it and say, well, okay, they did this way. Well, I ain't gonna do that this way. I'm gonna do it my way. And their way may be better than the way I was doing it, you know what I mean? And so sometimes you just have to, you know, be grateful. You know, I'm more grateful than anything that I'm in this position, because I'm gonna tell you, I never thought I would be in no position like this, you know? I mean, when I went to prison, I ain't never think I was gonna come home and somebody was gonna be talking about doing a story about my life, you know? And it's amazing, man. Then when you change your life and give your life to God and start praying and be sincere, you hope it rub off on other people's, you know? To see that, hey, man, this man is serious about what he's saying, and he doing it. He ain't just talking about it, but he talking the talk, but he walking the walk, you know, as he go. And I hope whatever come out of this movie or this series or whatever it be, I hope it lift up somebody else in this city, you know? I hope it's some of the young guys that look at it and say, you know what? Go change his whole life. Why can't I change my life, you know? And if, like I tell little young guys when they work with me, and I drive trucks, and sometimes they may send some of the little guys over there from the temp service, and then they'll ride with me that day. And I don't bring God to them. I let them come to me with something. Once they open up a door, then that's when I be straightforward with them, you know, and I let them know, look at man, I've been down that road. I know what it's like, you know, ducking and dodging the police and worrying about if you're gonna have to kill somebody today or if you're gonna get killed today because somebody's gonna try you, you know? Especially in my position, the position I was in. A lot of them didn't know, but I was in a strong position, man, where if my friend, Bam, and all of them, I knew if anything come about me, they was going to be right there, you know, no matter what, you know. And Don and all of them, I knew I had people that's going to be right there, my cousins, my nephews, and them guys was going to be, hey, man, that's my uncle, that's my cousin. No, hell no, you know. But that ain't the life you want to live. You know what I mean? That ain't the life. That ain't it, you know? And when I realized that going to prison was the best thing that could have ever happened to me, it changed me a great deal, you know? And first, when I first went, I was like, man, I'm going to kill them dudes, man, for testifying on me. But when I got in jail and I started going to church and I started listening to my son's grandmother, and she used to always say, baby, pray. Sometimes pray twice a day. And I started doing that. And that's when I learned how to forgive. And by me learning how to forgive, that learned me to, okay, then, maybe that was the best thing that could have ever happened to you, to go to jail, you know? So my goal was when I came home to get me a job and start me a little lawn service. I came home, I started buying lawn equipment. Then I messed around, got me a truck. Then I'm working too. I said, okay, this is it right here. You know, I prayed and I asked God for this and he gave me this. I don't want to look back the other way no more. And that's how I've been living my life the 10 years I've been home. You know, so to sit here and talk to Mr. Townsend. But like I told him, I said, but I told Townsend upstairs, I said, but just think about it. You ain't never stopped me for nothing. He never stopped me for anything when I was on the streets. Mm-hmm. He'll come in the bottom, but I be laid back. I be out their way. I look at him and I see him, but I don't say nothing to him. I don't open my mouth because I know I'm dirt. I know I'm doing dirt. So I ain't really trying to start nothing with him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. My thing was, as long as the police come down there and like Bam say, do your job right. You know, when the police was looking for me and they came down there and they arrested me, I ain't clown with them. I know, you know, they were looking for me. So I went on to jail. It's simple as that, you know? But to live that life, I just wish these kids would open up their eyes to something better. You know, education, go to a trade school, just do something different in your life. Killing everybody you see look at you ain't the answer. Because eventually somebody gonna kill you. You ain't gonna keep on killing people and getting away with it. It just don't happen like that in life. It don't happen like that. Guys, I see guys kill dudes and 2 or 3 months later they dead. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Wake up. Mm. God send a message to us every day. He wake us up every day. That's the best blessing you can ask for. So that's why I just changed my life and I feel so happy to be where I'm at right now. I ain't rich, but I ain't poor no more neither. You know what I mean? Yeah, so, you know, for you to come in my life, John, I be teasing some guys. I said, you just got to know people's in high places. You know? And so, you know, I laugh and joke with them and then, but to be serious, I try to school the young guys that come in my area, and when they open up to me, then I explain to them, you know, and I let them know, I don't care what you do, man, it's a consequence for everything you do when you doing dirt. When you're doing something that you know is not law, it's a consequence behind it. And you just gonna have to suffer it if you get caught up, you know? So that's how I live my life now, you know?
Oh, man, right on. When was the last time y'all saw each other? Do you remember?
Court.
Yeah,
court. Yeah, mm-hmm. At trial. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. That was the last, and God, that's been, how many years ago was that?
94, 95.
Yeah.
95.
So, yep. Mm-hmm. I was just a youngster. Yeah. I wasn't too young. But I just realized how old I am now thinking about it. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, boy.
It's a long time.
That's when that's basically when the sentencing was 95.
Yeah, well, we went to trial in 95 and we got sentence in 95.
95. Okay. Okay.
It was the largest. It was the most defendants they ever had in a trial like that. 12, the 12 defendants, and everybody had a couple of attorneys. They had stadium seats they built.
They built rafters, right?
Yeah, I mean it was crazy. It was like stadium seat, different rows and stuff like that. For the whole trial and everything like
During that case, did you think there was any chance that you were getting out of it?
Oh, I know I wasn't going. I know I wasn't going.
You were going to prison, yeah.
But you got to play the game.
Even though, to be honest, excuse me for cutting you off, even though they never caught me with drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I never ever got caught with drugs. I never ever sold drugs to no undercover law. And the only law that got up on the witness stand and said that, no, he didn't. I come to him and asked him. No, he said I ran to him. But the dude was lying the whole time, He was just straight up lying. All the guys that got up on the witness stand against me lied except for one of them. The one, Sean. Sean was the only one told the truth. I ain't gonna lie, he did tell the truth. I was giving him dope. You know what I mean? I was. But the rest of them that got up there, all of them was lying.
You felt fairly sure that those guys that they were going away, huh?
You don't take somebody to trial unless you're pretty sure that you got a decent case and everything like that. Dan Burt was one of the attorneys that was Big Don's attorney.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, he had the funniest thing. He had a picture of a mountain and he had a picture of a molehill. And his opening state was, they're trying to turn this. And then I thought, man, I have got to write that down. I said, that is the funniest thing I've ever seen in court, And God rest him, he's dead now. But it was pretty funny when Dan did that, Yeah, I mean, except hell, I've never been to court with that many people in my lifetime, and usually two defense attorneys each, But I never. It reminds me of, if you ever seen the Wile E. Coyote cartoon with the Wile E. Coyote and the sheepdog, and they clock in, and they're best friends. They live together, the sheepdog and the coyote. And they live together. Well, they go to work, they clock in, then they're enemies. And as soon as they clock out, they go back home living with each other. I said, it's kind of like a business, I said, you don't take it personal, then, it's just, doing a job and everything. And I love my job. And I love being retired more than anything. That's the life, being retired. I'm the poster child for retirement. I'm telling you.
Seeing Goat here today and seeing, what he's talking about now, and he's a man who's changed his,
Sure.
How does that make you feel?
I think it's awesome. And, and I've seen, and Goat can tell you too, people get the jailhouse religion. And, and you've seen that many a time where they would go to church, on Sundays and they'd come out fighting, the next day and stuff. Or as soon as they hit the street, they lose that religion. But, and man, he's got it. I mean, you can tell. I mean, this guy's a God-feared man, and I respect that like crazy, I'm a God-feared man too. And he kept his religion, and I love that. Like I said, you've seen it. You've seen guys come in, we call it jailhouse religion. And they get it because it makes them look good. It's great for, the parole board and everything. Oh, he's in church every time that's open up, And I started out working in a prison, with the sheriff's. That's what you had to do. The CDC back in the day was CCI. And, I saw that. You would see it. But this guy, I mean, you can tell. I mean, it changed his life. And I told him, I said, I have a bunch of people come up to me, that I'd put in prison before and shake my hand and say, man, you saved my life,
But, just like Thompson was saying, you got a lot of guys being in prison, and they'll get off into the Bible. And, I mean, when you talk to them in prison, and you be like, man, this dude, he know this Bible good. But once they walk out that door, then the Bible just be tossed to the side. And I'm going to tell you, when I used to go to church in jail, but I never said that once I got home, I was just going to go to church. I said, I'm going to go to church, and then I'm going to thank God for letting me out of that prison. And that was it. But when I went to church, and I realized, you know what? I got to be here every Sunday, because this here is the only thing going to make me be a better person, going to keep me away from foolishness and clowning with anybody about anything, And so that's why I just embraced it more and more and more. And then some of the older guys in church and the older women in church who've been in church all their life, they helping me along the way. You know what I mean? By encouraging me and just looking at me and saying, we appreciate how you be in church every Sunday and this and that. And when we ask you to do something, you so polite, you so, you know what I mean? And all of that stuff together make you a better person, you know? And like I tell Don and Bam them, and I tell them, I don't care what y'all do with y'all life. I know what I'm gonna do with mine. You know, just like when I was in the streets, I know I was in the streets. I know I was in the streets. There ain't no if, whatever in the streets, I'm a part of it, one way or the other, you know? But that ain't where I ever want to be again. Then I'm getting at an age now, what I'm gonna do being in the street? I can't run from the police. Who can I run from and get away from? You know what I mean?
How old are you? How old are you now? How old are you?
63.
Okay, you got 5 years on me. I'm 58. So.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
you get slower, don't you?
Yeah, for real. For real.
Is this at all? I mean, for either of y'all, is this hard for you guys?
No, this
not at all.
Huh? Simple now.
Yeah,
it's simple now.
But like, I mean, don't you think? I mean, like right now, like in this, like y'all were enemies. Right?
I wouldn't say we're enemies.
I don't know, but like,
he had a job to do.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say we was enemies, but I know one thing, I got to watch them. And
vice versa, right? And vice versa. I mean, that was, and I guess what I'm saying is like, if you guys can come together though, I mean, it's like, who couldn't come together? Like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But like, don't you think that the fact that you are both, I mean, the one thing
on opposite teams.
Look, you're on opposite teams, but both of you guys are like, I know both of you very well. You're both extraordinarily confident with who you are. Like both of you guys, whenever I ask something, the common answer I give, oh yeah, man, I'm good with that. Like, you're unshakable. Both of you guys have had to fight for your life. Both of you guys have been in very dangerous situations. Both of you guys have seen all kinds of, you've seen, I think, probably the worst that this world can kind of show. You guys have both suffered, you know, unbelievable tragedies in your life. But you come back, you both have joy. You both live life to the fullest. You both have beautiful families that you love with all your hearts. You both stand up and respected by everybody who knows you.
All of this is part of growth, you know, and you got to recognize it, you know. And I recognize it through God, you know. What I see he doing for me and my family, you know. I got a good wife. I don't have to have a second thought about her. You know what I mean? If she say I'm finna go do that, she ain't got to worry about me. Where you at? Do it. She ain't got to worry about that. Okay, I'll holler at you later. You know? And that's how we operate.
How important is that? You got a wonderful wife too. Like what has that been for you?
Oh my gosh. Man, she's like settled me a lot. Really has settled me a ton.
Peace of mind.
Big time. She's, you know, beautiful, bright, you know. I mean, she's a very confident woman, and she's always been there for me. Yeah, and I'll always be there for her.
I mean, I know it's a probably cheesy ass question, but for everything you live, what would you say? What would you say is the secret to happiness in this world?
God is the secret to happiness, and I mean, you can't never go wrong with it. I don't care what you do, you can't never go wrong with God. When you with God, that's happiness in itself. And that's my secret to happiness. God. And I ain't playing, that's my secret, you know. When I go to if I get in a situation now, and I just pray about it, and I just ask God to remove that problem away from me, and then I put it in his hand, and I'm gone on by my business. And I tell my daughter, see, this what makes my wife no mad with me, because this is what gets to them. They say, you don't care about nothing. I say, it ain't that I don't care about nothing. It's just that I don't worry about little bit of stuff. I don't let little stuff get next to me.
I mean, both of you guys really have that in common. You're a real happy guy, man. You know, you have peace of mind. What do you think? What's your secret?
Man, you know, I worked hard. I had a great job. And like I told you, I love retirement. And I'm with GOAT, you know, God, guitars, guns, and family. That's it. You know, I mean, you know, I help people. You know, I told you I do the Guitar for Vets thing. You know, I teach the vets with PTSD guitar lessons, and, you know, it helps them, give them peace of mind. As long as I can get out there and help somebody, that's always me. And there's like almost 200 chapters throughout the United States.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I started one here a while back.
That's
And
beautiful, man.
Yeah, I love it. I love doing it.
And what frustrates you right now? Like, what are you worried about these days?
You know what? I don't really get frustrated. It's hard to frustrate me now, because you done seen so much, you done did so much, till you know how to maneuver away from around a lot of foolishness. You know what I mean? I put it like this. One day I was up on the corner, and my cousin, and he was arguing with another little old dude, right? And the little dude was one of our cousin's brother. And when they got ready to argue, you know what I did? Went got in my truck and left. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to hear it, I don't want to see it. So whatever y'all got going on, I don't want to be nowhere around. I got in my truck and I leave. It's easy to walk away. Some stuff you see, and you see it's finna be some foolishness, just go on about your business.
And how about you? Are you worried about anything these days? Are you? Anything?
No, I'll always be the person that I am. I'll interject if something's getting out of hand, and things like that. That's always my mentality, is to, go in there and help somebody. And I feel like, if anybody needs help, then I'm always there to do something like that, Yeah, I'm different, man, I was a freaking crazy go-getting, working some bitch workaholic. And I wouldn't go home. I worked so much, and man, I have just, relaxed so much since I, got off the job.
Left that world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody they told me, there's no way you'll retire. They said, you can't retire. They said, there's no way. They said, man, you love this shit. And I was in Florida the next day after I retired, and man, I just loved it. Just stay busy. I got so many, hobbies, and I'm busier now that I retired than I was when I was working, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know I ever had time to work. You're retired and you got a pickup truck, you got some friends.
There you go.
You've got some friends. Trust me, you got some friends. You know how that goes. Can you come over here and do this?
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, again, y'all, I just it's a real special day for me. I'm gonna let y'all, go about your night. I'm just it means the world to see y'all together. You guys got anything you want to say to each other, or?
Well, we talked upstairs. It was kind of fun. I said, man, I hadn't seen him in so long, and we even talked about a couple people we knew from jail and stuff like that, And I'm so glad that he turned his life around, because the sad thing is you don't see people like him that often that will turn their life around, that will get out and they go back into it. We arrested people. Hell, I arrested not only, I was in it so long. Arrested people, arrested their kids, grandkids. They'd always say, "Oh, I know you, Mr. Townley. You know my dad," or I was like, "Oh, how's he doing? He's good." But I, end up arresting him. But it's good to see him. It's good to see him, change, and everything, so like that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Let me ask you just one more thing. Just in terms of like, you hear about like the war on drugs, right? Like y'all, like in whatever that was in the 80s and the 90s, and what that was, and the toll it took on this country, and it's still kind of playing out with all the people in prison, that spent so much time in prison. What you did, 17?
Yeah.
17 years, all the people that died, all the law enforcement that got killed in the line of duty, all the people on the streets that got killed. What is your guys' take on that?
Mine was always, if I could help somebody, if I could save somebody's life by, either putting them in jail or, and that's many times I'd catch people, and they wouldn't go to jail. It depends on what, kind of conversation we had and stuff like that. As long as I could always help somebody, I felt like I was making a difference. And people would always say, you're never going to win the war on drugs. I said, but, it's like a big snowball rolling downhill. If you don't chip at it and keep chipping at it away, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And, I always felt like I made a difference, especially when I'd have people come up and tell me I saved their life, by putting them in jail. And I lost a lot of friends, that were killed in the line of duty and stuff like that. I've been there, seen it. And, it tore you up to see that kind of thing, for, just unnecessary stuff.
And what about you, Go?
Well, like I was telling you the other day, when the police nowadays is not like the police back then. This a different generation of polices. Back then, if I got into it with a police and I walk away from him and he see I'm running from him, he ain't finna shoot you in your back. what they'll do is say, I get him later. He gonna be ready in his bottom, I catch him later. And that's how they would do. But to see these police nowadays killing these guys, shooting them in their back when they running away from them, I just think that's a coward move for a police officer. You don't have to do that. I remember back in the days when I was a little boy, and I used to see the older guy run from the police. You know what they'll do? Shoot up in the air. They'll shoot and give them a warning stop and say stop, and 90% of the time they stop. They got their warning shot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But these police now, and dudes too, it ain't all about the police. Dudes is putting themselves in a position to get killed too, you know? And I think when a person got a gun on him, and I think it's scared of police nowadays, you know what I mean? Back then, we could have a gun on us, and the police could stop us and take the gun right off of us. We will never reach for our gun. But they'll shoot you now if you just got a gun on you. That's crazy. The way it is today, and back then, I would have been shot because I ran from a many police officers. I mean, I stayed running from them. I always was running from them. We could be gambling and stuff, and we see the police, if they jump out them cars, we jumping up running, you know? They wouldn't shoot you in your back like that back then, you know?
I got a question. What do you think about the way the Bottoms looks now? It's totally...
Oh,
you ever thought you'd see apartment complexes going down there?
I never imagined
or a movie
I would ever
studio?
See apartments in the red crowd for my church.
And right there by the movie studio.
Yeah.
You ever think you'd see a movie studio down there?
Never. Yeah.
Never. I was so shocked.
But you know, life bring about a change, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm glad it changed because, like I say, when I left the streets, a lot of the girls down there wasn't working. They wasn't doing nothing for themselves. Because we was making sure they had everything. You know what I mean? Now, they working and they taking care of themselves real good. And I'm proud of them more than anything, you know?
I think the only thing that's the same down there is the Livingston and the hospitality house.
Lucky Liquor.
Lucky Liquor, yeah.
Lucky Liquor,
yeah.
But they're going to probably end up selling that. They're going to probably end up tearing that down.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
I mean, what would, like, when you were growing up in Queensboro, when you were a kid, what was the Bottoms to you? What did you think about
We always knew about it. I mean, you know, because we're about the same age and everything like that. I mean, and, you know, that has a big, long history, the Bottoms. You know, they were, back in the day, they used to run cattle from down there to the Red River, you know, back on the streets were brick and stuff like that. Well, they were dirt, and then it became brick down there. And we always knew about the history. But I grew up in Queensboro. Queensboro was my world, you know. I mean, hell, I was a kid. I ran the streets of Queensboro. You know, that was just a different neighborhood for us.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate y'all. And I love both of you guys.
We appreciate you getting together and everything like that.
It's really cool. I don't know if anyone realizes how cool it is, but it's really cool, man. I'm really, you know, I'm just touched that y'all sat here and y'all spent this time together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you.
That's what's up. Thanks for being here, everybody. I really appreciate it. If you dug what you saw and you want to hear more, subscribe, like, do all that stuff. It'd mean a lot to us. I hope you dig these episodes as much as we dig doing them. You guys take care of yourself.